Hey guys, it's Manu, physical therapist and herbalist. So I got another video for you, a hip opener, and once again, you can do these exercises anywhere, anytime essentially. We're going to use a couch, you can use a chair, whatever you like. It can be done on the floor, but this is another option for you. So this is a hip opener, and what we're going to do is start off in a lunge position, right? So we're trying to get a couple of different things done. So when I start off in this position, right away, I'm getting some hip extension on my right hip. So I'm stretching out the front of the hip on my right side, right? And I'm going to stretch out the back on my left side, okay? So as I'm flexing that left hip. So it's a lunge position essentially, but sometimes a little easier for people to place your hand here to support yourself. Now if the back foot is too far back, it's uncomfortable, bring it up a little bit, or place a chair next to you, another chair next to you if you're not able to balance yourself and hold that position. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to be in this position, and as I shift my body weight forward, as I drive that forward, I get a stronger pull right here in my front of my hip on my right side. If I squeeze my right butt cheek, again, I'm going to get a stronger pull in the front, in my, not only the front part of my hip capsule, but also your hip flexors, okay? We're trying to open these guys up. So the other part we're trying to get at on the other side though is, besides getting that hip flexion, getting a stretch right in this area, or bending of that hip, we want to get some rotation. So working and getting some opening up that hip, so some external rotation of that hip. The foot stays planted, okay? So I take my hand, not on the knee, just above the knee, or even further up, and I'm going to gently open up that hip. So I push it out a little bit, right? Now I can push out, I can step in too. So as I push out, I step in. So now that really works at opening it up. So I add on another thing to it. Now I can do some rotation of my trunk away from it, and that really opens up this whole side. Stretches that, as well as my groin area, front of the hip capsule, and gets a lot of external rotation done too. Now if I want to go the other way, I'm going to bring it inwards, okay? Internal rotation, adduction. So work at this position too. And you can adjust how much load you want on that. If I back off, put less pressure on that, I can still do that movement. Okay, and I'm just above the outside of the knee. So this way I'm not torquing my knee. So I do the same thing, glide, hang out, stretch, come back out of it. So I hit it from different angles. Maybe in a more flexed position, I do that with the hip. I do a little bit less flexed position of the hip. I do the same thing, or less weight on the hip. So you can really work at different angles and different amount of load on that hip, so different positions. So besides doing the internal rotation, add the body movement to it also. So trunk rotation away from it as I really work at opening that up, okay? And then in the other direction too. So maybe I'll do external rotation and I'll turn to the same direction where I really work at sitting in here and opening up this whole side, okay? So the point being that really try to get at it from various angles. And this is just one position. You can do the exact same thing on the floor too. So I could be right here doing the exact same movement out here with my body movement going this way, or for that matter, going in this direction. And I can direct how much pressure I want to bring onto this side, how much weight I want on my front leg too. All right? So try it out, do both sides, see how which side is stiffer, and spend 4 or 5 minutes at a time on each side. Make sure, try to contract the back leg. So for example, in this case, back leg, if I want to target the front of the hip more and I want to protect my back, tighten up your butt muscles. That kicks in my glutes, and that stretches the front of the hip a little bit more, all right? Plus it helps you protect your low back. So always protect yourself. Try it out for 4 to 5 minutes, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment if you have questions, and check out the site. Lots of info on it. Thanks, guys.